Tell me your name and tell us about your project.
My name is Wilhelm Conrad Roentgen. I'm a physicist, and my project is about, or it's called X-rays. I call it X-rays because it's an unknown race, hence the X, so X-rays.
What were you trying to do and find?
It was a typical day. I was doing experiment in the lab. I was doing experiment on fluorescent produced by vacuum tube. The tube that I was working with at that time consists of glassed envelope with positive and negative electrodes encapsulated in it. When air was evacuated and when high voltage was applied, the tube produced a fluorescent glow. I shielded the tube with heavy black paper and discovered that a green colored fluorescent light was generated from a material a few feet away from the tube. I then discovered a new ray was emitted from the tube, and that new ray was capable of passing through heavy paper, exciting the phosphorescent materials in the room.
Where did this project or experiment occur?
This experiment occurred in the lab of University of Würzburg.
What other significant events were happening around the world at that time?
Significant events that occur around that time that I can think of are the first movie projector was developed in the United States, and Frederick Douglass passed away.
Who else were involved in that project?
Oh, yes, my wife Bertha was also involved in this experiment, more specifically Bertha's hand. If you saw the film that was produced, you can clearly see Bertha's hand on that film. At that time, she also had her wedding ring on. If you take a look at that film, you can see that bone of her hand structure and that metal piece, which is her wedding ring. That is when I discovered that that new ray was capable of passing many substances, including soft tissues, but not the bone and the metal.
What was your role on that project?
Well, I was the one that discovered the new ray, which is the X-ray.
What impact did your project have on the physics community?
After the discovery, after the news spread, Thomas Edison produced a handheld fluoroscope, and in the following year, X-ray was used in clinical settings. I've heard that in France and in the United States, they also use X-rays for cosmetic purposes.
Were you happy and satisfied with your discovery?
Yes, I was very content with the discovery. The X-ray technologies has improved a lot over time, and it has been very useful in the medical field where physicians are able to view the body organ without you having any invasive surgical procedures, and they're able to detect diseases and injuries through X-rays.